I'm aware of no evidence of aliens whatsoever, which means that I think we're probably alone.
And here's where I have to strongly disagree. Why? You'll find the answer to that and what NASA trying to bring Voyager probe back to life has to do with it in today's video, so make sure you watch until the end. Hello everybody and welcome! A few days ago Elon Musk gave an update presentation on the current state of Starship development. In it he revealed a couple of interesting new technical details about the upcoming Raptor 3 engine and Starship version 3, which is probably going to be a whopping 150 meters tall, cementing the vehicle's status of largest rocket ever built even further. There were also some other wild claims about sending 1,000 starships to Mars in order to establish a functioning colony over there within the next 20 years. And honestly, while this sounds enticing at first, there are many problems with that, which I will not go into in this video, but maybe in a future one. Make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss that. After almost 10 years on YouTube, I'm trying really hard to break through the 100,000 subscriber barrier until the end of this year, and your subscription would be very much appreciated. While we're not going to go into the engineering side of things for Starship, which I know a lot of you are interested in, I want to talk about something that might be even much more important in the long term. You see, Elon's stated reason for doing Starship, or starting SpaceX in general, is to expand humanity from a single planet to a multi-planet species and later potentially to an interstellar or intergalactic species. But I'm afraid he might come at it from the wrong angle. Here's how he phrased it.
Preserving the light of consciousness. That's what it's all about.
There's a couple of things problematic with this. He says he hasn't seen any evidence for aliens so far. I mean, we all adore Kerbals and love to put them up to some shenanigans or other, but so far it's true, nobody has managed to discover intelligent life outside of Earth yet. Then again, when I was still in elementary school, nobody had yet found a single exoplanet. Some even thought there would not be any. Now, with all the improvements in our equipment that is observing the universe, we have catalogued thousands of exoplanets. We can even find out what they are made of, if they have an atmosphere, and what it is composed of, even though they are many light years away. What I'm trying to get at is this: the absence of proof is not a proof of absence. Just because we're not able to discover life outside of our solar system yet, does not mean it doesn't exist at all. And if aliens exist, they might have a very good reason to hide, but more on that later. Let's stick with the available evidence, or rather potential evidence, because the universe is freaking huge. We talk about it being billions or trillions of light years across, but those scales are meaningless for the human mind. We cannot really comprehend the size of this gigantic thing of which we are just a tiny part of. And we can only see a fraction of it, the so-called observable universe, which is already enormous with an estimated diameter of 93 billion light years. The universe as a whole is estimated to be 250 times larger than that. So what does that mean for the potential for life outside of our solar system? There's roughly 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe alone, and our galaxy, the Milky Way, contains hundreds of billions of stars. 100 billion times 2 trillion, that's a 2 with 23 zeros behind it. That's how many stars there are roughly present in the observable universe. Even if the chance for intelligent life evolving in any of these star systems is just 0.001%, that's still a 2 with 18 zeros behind it. You can divide that by 1,000,000 and still arrive at 2 trillion systems. At these scales, it's a probabilistic inevitability that intelligent life, or consciousness, how Elon put it, evolves or already has evolved out there in just the observable universe alone. And remember, there's 250 times more in addition to that that we're never going to see. Oh, and those 2 trillion galaxies, we have just observed roughly 5% of those. So there is one part of the answer to the question why we haven't seen any evidence for alien life yet. We've barely scratched the surface. No, I'm afraid that claiming life on Earth is unique in the universe is born from a sense of exceptionalism. We are probably not as special as we want to make ourselves out to be. We already know that our Sun is a pretty average star, so life evolving around such a star might also be just an average occurrence as well. But if we followed that thought, the conclusion might be really scary. Which, funnily enough, makes Elon's ambition to expand humanity to the stars a correct solution and a dangerous hazard at the same time. And yes, here's where Voyager comes into play again. But first, let me expand on the scary part, which also leads to why it is very plausible that any intelligent aliens out there that are still alive are hiding. Well, except Kerbals, of course. Those guys are just out there in every sense of the word. Elon touches on the Fermi paradox in his presentation. It basically asks the question, if it's so likely for extraterrestrial life to exist, as I pointed out earlier, why haven't we found any evidence? And it introduces the concept of the Great Filter, which civilizations have to pass through in order to survive. Climate change, nuclear war, asteroid strikes, the potential dangers for civilization are plentiful. Or, as I also said, we were just looking in the wrong places until now. But there's a possible explanation, and it's a chilling one. The dark forest hypothesis. Granted, it comes from the realm of science fiction, but some of those stories turn out to be science prophecy.
Make science fiction not fiction forever.
Think about Jules Verne's Moonshot, which was written in 1865, more than 100 years before the first moon landing. And look where we are now, making plans to establish a permanent base on the moon as part of the Artemis program. So what is the dark forest hypothesis, where does it come from, and what do Starship and the Voyager probe have to do with it? The term was coined by writer Liu Cixin in Book 2 of his Remembrance of the Earth's Past trilogy, part of which has been turned into the Netflix series Three-Body Problem. Spoiler alert for both the books and the series, so be warned. While I don't give away the story per se, I do have to talk about a very fundamental building block of the universe that Liu created. Now that we got that out of the way, let's continue. For his hypothesis, the author postulates two axioms in regards to cosmic civilizations. First, survival is the primary need of civilization. Second, civilization continuously grows and expands, but the total matter in the universe remains constant. From this, we can deduce that it is inevitable that different civilizations in the universe will compete for the available resources at some point. So imagine you're an advanced civilization and you discover a young, nascent, comparatively primitive civilization that hasn't managed to develop interstellar travel yet. Do you ignore them for now and wait until they evolve to be a threat and then deal with them? Or do you easily crush them right now and save yourself the headache? In Liu's books, the latter is definitely the case. And this turns the universe effectively into a dark forest, where every traveler in it tries to hide from everyone else to avoid detection, and with it, inevitable destruction. It's a pretty bleak outlook if we're being honest, but if we think about long-term survival of humanity, and I mean really long-term, like millions or billions of years, then we need to take the possibility into account that we are part of a dark forest universe. The aliens are probably out there, maybe billions of different civilizations, but they are hiding so their light isn't put out by more powerful ones. Remember,
there's always a bigger fish.
Again, this concept is from science fiction, but there is some sound logic behind it. The total matter in the universe is finite. It might be a mind-bogglingly gigantic amount, but it is finite. And we cannot argue with the need for survival. When push comes to shove, your own kind will always win out compared to others. Like the old saying goes, blood is thicker than water. but on a cosmic scale. This is where Elon's goal of a multiplanetary humanity is blessing and curse at the same time. Blessing because for the growth of human civilization to continue long term, at one point it will be necessary to leave the solar system. Curse because as soon as we venture out to the stars, we will make ourselves much more vulnerable to hunters in a dark forest universe. And with this we finally come to Voyager 1. The probe that was launched back in 1977 is on its way out of the solar system, heading to interstellar space. Currently it is no longer sending back viable data, but that might change when NASA engineers manage to fix it. Which I really hope they pull off, because it is amazing that we sent something into space almost 50 years ago, and not only is it still working, we can still make remote fixes to it. If that is not a testament to human ingenuity, I don't know what is. But on the other hand, any physical thing we send outside of our solar system is a beacon pointing back at us, showing hunters in the dark forest, look, there's prey over there. As cool as it would be to get data from Voyager 1, maybe it would be best to turn it off or destroy it, if that's even possible. Just because the dark forest hypothesis comes from a science fiction book, we should not discount it outright, but rather prepare for its possibility. Because if it does apply and we are not prepared, no amount of colonies on Mars will protect us. And maybe we should continue to rely on passive observation of the universe by using telescopes just like JWST, which has already enriched our understanding of the cosmos. Maybe it will one day also find that evidence that Elon Musk so far hasn't seen. Alright, now you know why I disagree with Elon on the point of where are the aliens. I believe they are out there. I also believe that they have had similar thoughts about the state of the universe as we do, because even on our pale blue dot there are many instances of people having the exact same idea at roughly the same time. Extraterrestrial life out there might be split into two groups, those that hide and those that hunt. Or maybe Elon is right and we are actually the only conscious life within the universe. As I have outlined, I do not believe that this scenario is likely, but we can't say with certainty until we have more evidence. Speaking of more, if you want to get more out of me, you should sign up to my Patreon or become a YouTube member. Depending on the tier, you get early access to videos and your name will be shown over here as a token of my gratitude. Just like these fine folks that believe in what I do. Thank you so much for your support. This video was more a general outlook on what I think the state of the universe is in regards to alien life and why I believe Elon is wrong in his assessment. As I said, I might do another video on the viability of claims of 1,000 starships to Mars every 26 months. Would you be interested in that? Let me know in the comments or hop over on my Discord server, link is in the description. Also, let me know your viewpoint on this topic. Are we alone? Are there millions of civilizations out there? Do we live in a dark forest universe, or more in something akin to Star Trek, where humans and aliens coexist somewhat peacefully? Drop a comment and let's talk about it.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel for more and follow me on my social thingies. The links are in the description. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.